That to me is operating from a place of broke. You broke because you're only running up that bill because you're in this establishment and someone else is covering it. That's broke people shit. See, we don't do that. When you're grown, you don't do that. Here's the thing. And then stop crying. Like, just stop. Okay, we're done. Because you're being emotional about something that probably requires common sense and logic. So let's deal in that and not in emotions. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're returning. So I feel like every time I come to y'all, I'm either going to the gym or leaving from the gym. But you know, like, gym is life right now. This is what we do and we have goals. So anyway, this is another episode of Sisterly Sentiments. Now today we're going to talk about dating. Who should be dating, who should not be dating. So I asked my sister, I was like, okay, I have two sisters. One is in her 20s, one is in her 30s. And I asked the younger one, I was like, so can you tell me, like, did I give you, I'm always talking to my sisters and they always call me for advice and stuff, or just to talk, just to vent sometimes. And the number one thing I say, like, when you're going through a situation, like, if you're calling me, listen, are you calling me for advice or are you calling me just to talk? Because if you're calling me for, just to talk, I may, like, say something and then you're going to be upset. So let me know when we get on the phone, what is this, right? So if you're calling me, you're just like, listen, I don't know what to do. My life is just horrible. But I don't want advice. I just want to talk. And I'm like, okay, fine. Go ahead and vent, and then I'll keep my mouth shut. But if you're calling me for, like, advice, it's like, all right, go ahead and cry. You're allowed to cry. Cry, get it out, right? And then stop crying. Like, just stop. Okay, we're done. Because you're being emotional about something that probably requires common sense and logic. So let's deal in that and not in the emotions. So once we get down to it, it's like, all right, cool. So my brain says, let's come up with solutions. My brain is like, we're not going to deal with the emotional side of things because that ain't my area. I'm more pragmatic. I'm more like, what makes sense? And we go with what makes sense. So I was like, tell me some things that I've given you advice of, about over the years. And one of the things that she said was, like, dating. And she was like, one of the areas that she said, like, stood out was operating from a place of broke. You know what I mean? Having a broke mindset. Now, because that can come from many different angles, we're going to talk about operating from a broke mindset when it comes to dating. So my feelings are as such. When you go on a first date, right, the man should pay. Now, that's not every single time. Sometimes women pay, that's fine. But just traditionally speaking, if we're going to talk about what is routine, a man should pay. If a man is talking about, oh, we have to do half and we have to do this and, oh, I'll pay, but you have to cover the tip and we're talking about money, we've already messed up. We shouldn't even be out right now because you're operating from a place of broke. Now, it could be operating from a place of broke, like you have no money in your pocket. That's one side of the broke. Or it could be a place of operating from, or it could be an issue of operating from a place of broken. So I always hear people talking about Kevin Samuels. Right? We always want to talk about Kevin Samuels. But we only listen to the things that benefit us. So when he's ragging on women, that's cool. We're here for all of that. But we don't take his message when he's telling y'all, y'all to do better. And it goes for men and women. When he's telling women to do better, they don't want to have that conversation. Absolutely not. When he's telling men, y'all need to do better, oh no, they click off for that, right? We're not listening. We're not even going to entertain that side of it. So Kevin Samuels says that the men are supposed to pay, right? Men pay. That's what you're supposed to do. If you ask a woman out, you pay. Here's the thing. Stop asking out bums. Because if you weren't asking out a bum, you wouldn't be concerned about who's going to pay, right? It's a fact. So I talk to men and I'm like, what is the issue with paying? You should want to pay. Like, you want to take a woman out, you should want to pay, right? And a lot of times I hear they start with, well, if I'm going to pay for this meal, why would I pay for this meal if she's just going to stop right there. If you have it in your head that you're going to pay for a meal and there's any part of you that feels like she's not going to be appreciative or she's doing it to use you, I don't understand how you got on this date in the first place. Why are you even here? You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't even be on this date because you're operating from a place of broken. So when you started like that, telling me, well, I don't know if I should pay, or there should be a certain limit on the amount of money that we spend on the first date. I'm not about to spend $200 on a first date and then she doesn't. Hold on now, right there. Stop. You're operating from a place of scarcity. Either it's a financial thing or it's an emotional thing, and you have baggage and somebody else has hurt you. you have fear. You're operating from a place of fear. If you're having all these thoughts about this person that you're going on a date with, I would bet money you're going out with somebody you have no business going out with. Either she's out of your league, or you already knew that there was no compatibility, but you're still trying to force it. So that little voice in the back of your head is like, man, this is not going to work out. I'm not about to spend all this money on this date and this girl, it doesn't work. It doesn't give me the results that I'm looking for. And I get it. I'm here for all of that. But that's what I'm talking about, operating from a place of broke or broken. You shouldn't be dating. You need to dig in and figure out what's going on with you. Because here's the thing. If you're picking women that's what they do, they go on dates with you and use you for food and just use you for, a night out, and it's all about the financial gain for them, you're picking the wrong women. Because not all women date like that. And if the ones that you're picking are doing that, that's your fault. So you need to do a better job picking these women. And I know a lot of people say, oh, do better, pick better. But it's hard to pick better when you don't know how to pick better. So let's start with step one. Step one is you will never be able to read a woman if you don't know how to read yourself. You have to get introspective. You're not going to be able to pick a decent woman out of the crowd if you don't even know who you are. You're not going to pick the right one. You just can't. So instead of going out here blindly with these blinders on, I'm just going to date anyone, I'm going to date this girl because she looks good, or I'm going to date this girl because she got this or she got that or she drives this or whatever the case is. You need to look deeper when you're going on dates so that when you're on these dates, you're not feeling like you could lose out. Like, I'm so serious. If that's in your head, you're out with the wrong person. So what's wrong with you as a man that you would pick this type of woman to take out? And now you out and now she uses you for your money and then you're crying about it. That's nobody's fault but your own. So the same thing with women. You're operating from a place of broke or broken. If you go out and you're like, oh, when we go out, I'm not going to allow him to pay for the whole meal because then he would want something back in return. Excuse me, bitch? What is wrong with you? Girl, who taught you this? Where'd you get that from? So what you're telling me is you've been with a whole bunch of men because they paid for something and you felt pressure to open your legs. That's what you're telling me. So you don't need to be dating. You need to be working on your mental health because you have a problem. If you think that a man is taking you out and he's paying for the meal and you feel that you are obligated to give him something that you don't want to give him, to the point where when a nice man comes along and says, hey, let me pay for your Starbucks, or hey, let me hold your door, you don't know how to act, you should not be dating. And definitely not having sex. Let's not even go there. But this is what I'm talking about. Now you're operating from a place of broken. And these are the people that I keep seeing up here, like, on the internet and stuff, that either people are talking about or they're sharing their stories. And I'm like, first of all, the person that's dating you, they're not healthy. Because if they were healthy, they would never, ever take you out on a date because you're not dateable at all. Any woman that's like, I don't want a man to pay for me because then he's going to expect something from me, girl, you need to get your mind straight. Something is going on in your head. You got it all wrong. If you are a woman who a man opens the door for you and you feel offended, or you snatch the door back, what is going on? Like, you're allowed to be a woman. What you're looking at this thing wrong, and you're operating from a place of hurt. So you need to get your internal together before you ever go out there and try to call yourself dating or engaging in sexual activity or any of that. You got to get your mind right. And as far as the broke mindset for women, if you're a woman who you normally go out with your girls, you order chicken fingers, you skip the appetizer, you're not really going to go with the dessert. You might buy a drink, right? So you're trying to keep the bill low. You don't have all this money in your pocket, and it's fine. Like, it's no big deal, right? If everyone was rich, who would be broke? So here you go. You go out with the man. Now, because you know he's paying, you start ordering lobster. You start ordering not just one lobster tail, but two. You want the whole lobster. You ordering things that you would never order if he wasn't there. And if you knew that you were going to cover that bill, your choice would have been way, way different. But now, you're not going to order a Sprite like you normally would do when it's you, you're going to order a red wine and you want the bottle. You know what I'm saying? So that to me, and then you're expecting him to cover that bill. That to me is operating from a place of broke. You broke because you're only running up that bill because you're in this establishment and someone else is covering it. That's broke people shit. See, we don't do that. When you grown, you don't do that. Here's the thing. I'm not ordering anything that I wouldn't pull out my card and pay for on my own if it were just me or me and my friends or me and my children. Like, why would I run up the tab now because you're here? That's broke people shit. We don't do that. Like, when you change your taste and stuff because of who's covering the bill, that says a lot about you. So as a man, if you see that she's doing that, why are you even out on a date with that type of woman? Like, for real. If y'all have been on the phone and you hear her going through the drive-thru and it's McDonald's and she's always ordering off the dollar menu, but then when you and her are, I don't know, out at the park and you go through the drive-thru and she's like, can I get a number whatever 7 large, and then I want this and I want that and I want that and I want this, sir, that right there, after that there's nothing to say at that moment. You take her home, you drop her off, and that should be the last time that y'all are interacting. That's it, because you see what type of woman she is. And so I think a lot of times people make it hard on themselves. Like, y'all make things more of an issue than what they need to be. Like, it's real simple. Stop dating broken people. If you're a broken person, you need to stop dating because you're not available. You need to get yourself together and then go out there instead of being out here ruining people's lives. Now, if you agree with me, get down in the comment section and let me know. If you don't agree, you disagree, you wrong. Go down in the comment section and let me know that as well. And we'll do this again next time, y'all.